best of me. I can't take back the past, but I got the recipe. Let's jump on the plane, see the world together. Give you my last name, be my girl forever. They see the Instagram, the comments and all the likes, but they don't see the makeup and the breakups and the fights. It's a cold, cold world, it's a wild, wild life, but long as I got you, girl, I'm alright. In the middle of the day, at the end of the night, leave me, I'm right by your side.
Hey guys, welcome to our channel. I'm Mommy and this is Malia. Mrs. Sweetface. Hey. So today I'm going to be telling you guys on how I had a preemie and what it's like and just raising the baby in general. It's a story. So I was about 34, 36 weeks, I can't really remember, when I went into labor with Malia. I got induced because I developed preeclampsia. I had protein in my urine, and also I had really high blood pressure. They said it was around stroke level, so it was real high. I really wasn't feeling any symptoms. I have a high tolerance for everything, so when I laid down, I felt like a lot of stuff was just rushing to my throat, into my head, and it felt really uncomfortable. So I was just up and I couldn't sleep. I guess she can. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't lay down. I was just like up and I was wired. And it was so irritating. I was tired, but I couldn't go to sleep. So after a whole almost 48 hours of not being able to go to sleep, I told my mom, I was like, oh, we gotta go to the hospital. I think something's wrong. But before all that happened, you know, they found out I had high blood pressure and preeclampsia. They sent me to the hospital to get the early steroid shot just in case I had her early. And I went on Thursday. I got the first shot and stayed there while they monitored Malia, you know, her heartbeat and her movements. And then the next day, on Friday, I got my second one. You know, they checked my blood pressure and I went home. So when I got sent home after getting the second steroid shot, that's when all this happened, where I couldn't lay down, I couldn't do anything. I was just out of it. So we went back Saturday morning-ish. Yeah, it was around Saturday morning. We had my niece with me. Mind you, she's about 4 or 5 months old. And it was just me, my mama, and her. And we had to take her to the hospital with us because we just had to. So by the time we got there, they check my blood pressure and they see it's sky high, so it's stroke level. So they had to induce me. My doctor came in there and I just started getting nervous and panicking and like, oh my gosh, I'm thinking like the baby's finna come, the cramps and the contractions finna come. I was like, oh my God. So I was just nervous. They had me put on this gown. They prepped me, you know, controlling her movements. They moved me to a room. And that's like, when they moved me to the room, to the labor and delivery room, that's when it got real. Like, I can't explain. I was just so nervous. I'd never done this before. I didn't hear all these stories and what these people saying and how it could go wrong and what can go wrong, and the nurses might be this, the doctor might be that. I was just scared. So it started off, you know, real good. You know, me and my mama, we chilling, we in there, and I'm not feeling nothing yet. You know, everything is going good. It's just her heartbeat, it's monitoring. She come in and she has to stick a pill up my to start inducing me, to open up my cervix and to get me to start dilating. The first pill didn't really do nothing. I was like 1 centimeter. Second pill, because you have to come do it every 2-3 hours, I think. I'm not sure. I think it was 3. And they did the second one. I think I was like a 2. Did the third one. Still nothing. Fourth one, I think I went like a 2. Still like a 2, 3. So she went ahead and she broke my water at that point. And they stuck a catheter in. That, I swear, no. The catheter and them checking my cervix was the worst part to me. That was the worst part of labor to me. That was just the worst. You know, it's one thing with somebody sticking their finger up and stuff, but it felt like their whole arm just, this super, So, I know that's TMI, I'm sorry, y'all. So, after that, you know, when they kept coming to check my cervix, when they checked my cervix, it was hitting more than the contractions were. That hurt way worse than the contractions. So I said, okay, I want to get the epidural. So I have to feel all that. So the woman, she came, she gave me epidurals in and out real quick. That's the best person I could have, all the stories I heard, how it can mess you up, do this and do that. She was the best person to do it. And I had her at Murfreesboro, Tennessee at St. Thomas Rutherford Hospital. I didn't have not one bad nurse. My doctor was great. I loved it. So once I got the epidural, at first, for like the first 30 minutes, it was lovely. She checked my cervix. I didn't feel not a thing. I'm like, ooh, I love this. Not, meaning not everything, but I didn't feel a thing. So like around after 30 minutes go past, I'm getting contractions, and I'm feeling them like I ain't had no medicine at all. So I'm like, oh no. It's like I'm feeling everything else again. Can you please, can you do something? So she gives me another dose of epidural. I guess they pushed it through. I don't know what it was. It didn't do nothing. It didn't feel nothing like the first time. So I'm like, what? So mind you, I told you I had a high tolerance to everything. I didn't mean, think it meant epidural too. So she pushed it again, and I still felt everything. So at this point, they didn't want to give me any more doses because they said it could slow down labor, and they're trying to go ahead and get the baby out. Okay. When she started to drop, I dilated like about 4 centimeters. I started feeling everything. My contractions was so painful. Mind you, my granny and my mama was in the room with me, and they were asleep. I lied. My mama was in the room with me, and she was asleep. And the lights was low. I was having contractions so bad. I was in the corner. I didn't want to wake her up because that's my mama, and she was sleeping so peaceful. I was like... And it was like... it only lasted for like, for the times the contractions lasted, and then it was over. So I was like, okay, cool, okay. I can catch my breath. By the time I get to catch my breath and get a little comfortable, boom, here come another one. And I'm like, oh my God. So at this point, I had to wake my mom and said, Mama, I need another epidural. I need another nurse. And the nurse came in and said, we don't want to give it to you. The baby's finna come. Then she checked me again. I went from 4 centimeters in like a matter of 20 minutes to Malia right at the thing. Like, she crowning. She is right there. So when she checked my cervix and I felt it, I could feel her coming down a little bit more. I'm like, what? And it felt like, this is nasty and TMI, but have you ever been like constipated? And it's right there, and you can feel like you need to push it out, but it won't come out. That's how I felt like right there, like it instant, like boom, like she was just right there. I was like, oh my God, and I could feel her like moving a little bit down, like she was just finna come on. Mind you, she's preemie, so she's small. And I'm like, oh, she's finna come out. So my doctor wasn't there. My doctor was even at the hospital. She was at home asleep. But she only lived 6 minutes away. But still, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to sit here and wait for her. I can't push my baby. I said, forget this, bump this. And, a male doctor had came in to fill in just in case they had to go ahead and get it out. But my mom and granny are still like, we waiting for my doctor. Her name was Dr. Tafasa. Correct me if I'm wrong. I never get her name wrong. But she's the sweetest doctor. I love her. And they're like, we've been with Dr. Tafasa all this time. Oh, no. We waiting for Dr. Tafasa this. I'm like, okay. I didn't care what saying what nobody was saying. If she was going to come out and get pushed out, I was going to push her out. Period. So, she finally bust through the doors like it's the heaven gates, and I was so happy. I could have pushed right then and there. So, she puts her stuff on, wash her hands. She get on down there. She said, I get ready to push. I push one good time. She's like, wait, don't push. I'm like, okay. So she was like, I guess she was like almost, I could feel her like, coming out. So she said, push again. I'm pushing. Mind you, both times I'm pushing, it feels like everything on me is on fire. I swear to God, I was like, oh my God, I didn't know if I could deal. But that second push, she came on her, she just slipped on out, and I just felt this. It felt like a whole load just came off me. But when I pushed her out, it felt like all my pain and contractions, everything just went away. I didn't have no pain after she pushed out. So like in my stomach, I could see my stomach go down and everything. So she came out. Of course, she was preemie. So all the nurses from the NICU were in the room. There was a lot of nurses and doctors and everything. So she came out. She put it on me, and she came out like her face was just like that on me. And like they laid her on me, I'm like, she's not crying. What is your? I was looking at everybody like, she was looking at me like, but I knew she was okay because she was her. I was like, just looking around like, who is this? So I said, okay, she's okay. So they picked her up. And, you know, when babies come out, I guess they have like a grayish color. So I'm like, she ain't got no color. She ain't crying. I hope everything okay. So, you know, people were talking to me, but I wasn't really saying that. I was nervous. I'm like, is she gonna cry? Is she gonna cry? So they finally get over there. They working on her. Nobody's like really saying that. I'm like, is she okay? They're like, yeah, you know, I'm pretty sure she's okay. I'm like, okay, we'll go over there and see if she's okay. Finally, I guess they put something cold on her, check her temperature, do something, and she just like, okay, that's my girl. She has some lungs on her too. I got me a little Whitney, baby. So after all that, before they had to take her down to the NICU, and because I had preeclampsia, I was on some medicine called magnesium, and I couldn't go down to the NICU with her or see her for a whole 24 hours. So they brought her over and they, you know, let me see her. She was big to be a preemie for how early she was. She came out 4 pounds, 5 ounces, and 18 inches long. So they let me hold her when they wrapped her up and everything. I got to see her for a few seconds, and I had to give my baby away, and they had to take her to the NICU. I didn't have any stitches, none whatsoever. She slipped right on out. And after that, you know, let me hold on. I thought the checking the cervix and the catheter was the worst part. No. When they press on your stomach after you have the baby, that would get you one right there. I'm saying, like, if you got some good reflexes, a nurse might catch one for real, because that stuff ain't no joke. Why would you go pressing on somebody's stomach and they just had a baby? Why? I don't understand. I guess, you know, gotta make sure everything getting out, but ugh. But I guess I wasn't normal. I didn't bleed as much as normal people should after they had a baby. I felt it was like a real light cycle. I didn't really have I didn't have much bleeding at all. I was scared to pee after. I thought it was gonna burn because, you know, I just got stretched to the gods and back, but it didn't burn at all. It was just like a regular pee. I kept them. They had the biggest the biggest pads. Like, I would love to have some of them pads. And oh, the underwear. Yes, they had them. They was kind of good, but it's like the underwear that they had only lasted for like a day. You can't wash and rewear them. They tear easy. So, But since she was in the NICU, I had to keep going back and forth. Once I got moved to the postpartum side, I had, you know, they had feedings every 3 hours. So I would go be with her for, you know, the feedings when I could. When I first went and seen her after I was off the magnesium for 24 hours, I cried like a baby. She was like, because people would go down there and they would FaceTime me and show me her. But she looked way bigger on the phone than she did in person. So when I first seen her, and I just like busted out crying. Like, she was so small, and like, you want to help them, you want to, you know, see that they're doing good, and I just couldn't do nothing. I was like, oh, my baby. And it's like just instant feelings. You know, I know I just had the baby, and I know, you know, everything's new, but it just felt like it was an instant connection. Thank God there was nothing wrong with her. They had on oxygen for a few hours, and they had like on a heated bed, you know, all preemies, but she quickly came off all that. The only thing she had was a feeding tube, because she didn't get her sucking down right, because she was early, so she didn't, you know, she wasn't strong enough to do all that. So, but she only stayed in the NICU for 9 days, and we were able to go home. I was nervous. I was so nervous to bring her home. She was a preemie. I lived with my parents, but of course they have jobs and they have to go work, so the first night they brought her home, she just came home. Okay, it was cool. Yeah, I had my mama there. But the next morning, she had to go to work. And I was on my own. Oh, my God. I was so scared. I just, you know, did the best I can. Thank God, like, you know, when they're that small, they sleep a lot. But it was just still nerve-wracking. It's my first child. I really didn't know what to do. I'm just nervous. So it comes to the time where she's getting a little older, and she develops colic a lot of preemie babies do, you know, as they say, but I don't think anybody will be ready for a baby who has colic. At 1 in the morning, every night for like 2-3 weeks straight, 1 a.m., she would wake up crying and screaming. This crying and screaming. She would want her bottle, her pacifier, change her diaper, try to give her a bath. Just nothing worked. And around 4, maybe 5 in the morning, she would finally calm down and go to sleep after she's been crying and whining all these hours. Can you say stressed out? Stressed out. I would have rather gotten a job and worked than have been home taking care of a baby who has colic. And that's sad. But I love my baby. I do. I wouldn't trade that for a world, especially now. Once it hit the 3-month mark, things start to get drastically better. But they were like compared to what it was. But it was still hard. You know. So she's trucking along, you know, as the weeks go along. She's growing real fast. So she's growing out of everything real fast. Like the colic thing it was just so long to me because it was intense and this nerve-wracking, but it really didn't last that long. And she just hit 4 months. She's 4 months now. She'll be 5 months on April 17th. It is April the 3rd right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. And she's just the biggest girl. I wish she was awake right now so we could play and I could show you. But she is such a big girl now. She is huge. You would not even think that she was a preemie. Let me try to. You wouldn't even think that she was a preemie. She's so tiny. She's so big now. This sleeper I got on her right now is a 9-month. She in 9-month clothes. She can fit it just fine. She can fit it just fine. And she's only 4 months. This neck, I swear. If her neck ain't cocked to the side or in a strange position, she's not going to sleep. But, and one other thing, I was trying to get her out the bed with me. But, and I was doing good. For like 2 weeks, she slept in the bassinet. But it just took one fateful night. And everything was ruined. Now she don't want to go in her bed. She want to sleep with mommy. When she go with her dad, she want to sleep with daddy. I don't know what to do. Now, that's pretty much it that I have so far. I would never regret my baby. I would never regret when she came, how she came, her dad, her parents, grandparents, her family, anything. Like, she's just perfect the absolute way she is. And I thank God for my baby every day. But, anyways, thank you for listening to my story and joining my channel. Please subscribe. And this will not be the only video we do. We have a lot more to show. Thank you.
Thank you, and then give you the best of me. I can't take back the past, but I got the recipe. Let's jump on the plane, see the world together. Yeah, you my last name, you my girl forever. They see the Instagram, the comments and all the likes, but they don't see the makeup and the breakups and the fights. It's a cold, cold world, it's a wild, wild life. But as long as I got you, girl, I'm alright. In the middle of the day, at the end of the night, leave me, I'm right by your side.